Go. And we are live. You can catch us on YouTube, Rumble, and Kick, guys. We are on Kick now. It's our first full live stream. We just went live stream on Kick a little bit a second ago, but it's going to be our first full live stream on Kick. So go follow us on Kick and all the new Kick followers. What's going on? We'll be right back with you, Howlers. We'll be right back. How's over Baz? I'm Jacob Casas.
I'm Rico Savage.
And today, this is a fight segment right here with 10th Planet over here. So I'm going to have our guest introduce himself, tell our audience a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay. Guys, I'm Rick Marshall. I run 10th Planet Redlands. I'm a head instructor. Yeah, that's pretty much all I do right now. Just teach jiu-jitsu.
So we got 10th Planet Redlands. So I know you guys are like the top school for open mats on Saturday, right? I heard everybody goes to you guys.
Well, there's a couple schools that do some open mats, but we have a solid one we've been running for like 6 years, and always get some really good grapplers that roll through. I know there's a couple other ones in the area or in Southern California, but yeah, ours is pretty good. We have some pretty good talent that comes through there. So.
Is there a certain requirement for open mat? Like as far as like, are you guys obviously a black belt's not gonna go against you know what I mean?
Oh no, everyone could go against everybody.
Oh
like,
shit,
yeah,
it's open.
Yeah,
open.
It's open mat. It's kind of like the way I see it is that you get a lot of different looks, and it kind of prepares yourself for competition in a way, because in competition you don't know who you're going to go against. You can go against
makes sense.
As a black belt, I can go against a white or blue belt sometimes. You don't know who they are, but you can't go into a tournament expecting to know someone's game. So an open mat to me is a way to experience someone's game that you've never met before.
So tell a little bit about the backstory of 10th Planet. I think it's a really cool and interesting story.
Okay.
Can you give us a little bit background on that?
So I don't know exactly all of the background, but from what I know, then people can fill me in. But let me see. So Eddie Bravo, he was, I don't know much about. I know his past. He was like a bouncer at security at a club, or a DJ at a club, at a strip club and stuff. And I think he ended up moving to LA. I don't know. He wanted to be an actor or something. He wanted to get into Hollywood, and somewhere along the way, he met Joe Rogan or something, and then they started training at Jean-Jacques Machado's gym in, I believe, Tarzana. I think that's where the headquarters is for Jean-Jacques. And that was throughout the 90s, and in 2004, Eddie was a brown belt, and he went to Brazil to the ADCC, the Abu Dhabi Combat, like the main event for basically the Olympics for grappling, and he tapped out Royler Gracie, who's a legend of the sport.
Yeah.
And
this is a story I like. So he tapped him out.
He tapped him out. Eddie was a brown belt. Royler was a black belt. Royler never tapped in competition, and Royler lost to a brown belt in competition, and that was a big thing for basically for Eddie, because that's kind of like your claim to fame.
Yeah.
And then you got to strike when the iron's hot. So Joe Rogan was like, we got to make your own school now. And this is 2004.
Yeah.
And then, so Eddie was like, well, let's call it like Nibiru Jiu-Jitsu, because it's kind of like out of this world Jiu-Jitsu kind of thing. And then Joe Rogan said people aren't going to either catch on to that or something. Let's just call it 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. So it stuck. 10th Planet stuck. And then I believe Eddie got his black belt right around that time. And then his first school that I believe he opened up was called the Bomb Squad, where he was training in LA with a lot of the original 10th Planet guys that were before me. And I came in a little bit later. I came in about, I started jiu-jitsu 2007, and actually I believe my first competition was against a guy from Eddie Bravo's school from 10th Planet.
Oh, okay.
That was in, I believe it was in Long Beach. And anyway, from there, then, that was the last time that Eddie competed in tournament in 2004.
I think that's a really cool name, 10th Planet. Bro.
Yeah,
it's
really
like a
cool.
dope brand name, and it's like because it's like it's out of this world.
Out of this world, yeah.
But that's crazy. Joe Rogan helped them come up with the name and all that, and their idea to come up with it's really cool.
They were good friends. They're still good friends with each other, and so I think let me see what happened in 2007. I started in 2007, and I was like training at a gym in Lake Forest under a guy named Mike Guyman, who's a original tap out group. And so he was like their fighter of the whole 5-person tap out crew, and I was training under that guy, really cool guy. And someone gave me a Rubber Guard book. It was Rubber Guard or something like that, and they were like, Rick, you're gonna like this book. It's up your alley because you're very flexible and things like that. And I started looking through it, and found out that it was Eddie Bravo, and found out like, oh, this is kind of the stuff I've been doing. And so I wanted to beat Eddie Bravo's student in competition at their own game. And so that's when I believe it was either my first or my second comp. That's when I went against one of Eddie's guys who happened to be, it's kind of ironic, but the guy is, he went by David Lopan, I believe. He's a guy that created or wrote the Expendable script, and he wrote like Godzilla script and stuff like that. Yeah,
Oh,
so
dang.
he's a pretty big deal as far as Hollywood goes. But back then he was just kind of coming up and just a director of, I'm not sure what he was doing, but it turned out to be someone pretty big.
Pretty big.
And so anyway, like the whole time from like 2007 or 2004 to 2014, all the people that were pro Gracie were saying Eddie beat one guy one time and is riding on this guy's riding on his
riding the coattail for that, right? Yeah,
that one thing, and he never came back to competition and this and that. But the reason why was because Eddie wanted to spread his schools, and he was doing a lot of trying to teach and trying to.
He was doing business,
trying to spread the word, spread the gospel, and then. Finally, there's a thing called Metamoris. That was like it was put on by the Gracie family, and they're like they gave Eddie, they offered him a huge sum of money to go compete against Eddie Hoyler Part 2.
That sounds like it was a smart idea for him then to just chill.
Yeah, well, the money was too good. It was the money, the merchandise, and just Eddie was like, oh, can we let me wear my pants. Because Eddie likes wearing pants and a rash guard. And Hoyler was like, you could wear your pants, but I get to grab your clothes. Where in no-gi and a no-gi competition, you're not supposed to be able to grab anyone's clothing. But Eddie said, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. So that was 2014, Metamoris Part 2. And then I remember Eddie, I was training a lot with a group in the Armenians in North Hollywood, Hayastan MMA. And there was a guy named Karan there, and Karan has his own gym in Glendale now. But Eddie was like, hey, you train with Karan and those guys? I was like, yeah. And he's like, they're really good leg lockers, and Hoyler is a good leg locker. Can you bring Karan into headquarters? And so I was like, yeah. So I talked to Karan, and we started bringing them to headquarters and teaching Eddie some, like, how to get out of common leg locks and things like that. And that was like a good introduction or a good infusion of leg locks into 10th Planet was right around the time that Karan was helping us. And then and Eddie had a month of for a camp, and he was like, he asked me if I can be part of that camp over at John Jacques. So John Jacques would look over all the guys that are helping Eddie and put him in specific situations to get ready for this competition. So we did that. I was there probably like Tuesdays and Thursdays or Mondays and Wednesdays. I can't remember, but at the time I was training everywhere, and I was like, yeah, it'd be awesome to be part of this camp. And so I was there.
So that's when you started being part of the camp, being part of 10th Planet?
Well, no, I started 10th Planet probably 2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But my first gym that I was at was Joker's Wild Fighting Academy. That was with Mike Guyman in Lake Forest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was working at, I think I was working at Panasonic at the time.
And were you? Did you do all MMA or you just do jiu-jitsu? Like, what were you doing at the time?
Well, I started off doing 1 day of kickboxing and 1 day of jiu-jitsu a week, like just one class, and I wasn't I wasn't very productive at all in 2007. I was like, I was getting frustrated because I was like, why am I not getting better? I should be knowing these things. And then I was like, you know what? Let me go 2 days a week of jiu-jitsu, Tuesday and Thursday instead of the kickboxing. I could always come back to kickboxing, but I want to focus on trying to get good enough to be a blue belt.
Yeah.
So I was doing Tuesday and Thursday jiu-jitsu, and then it turned to 3 days a week, 4 days a week, up to when I was a brown belt, I was training like 14 times a week, and I was driving like probably 1,100 miles a week from Riverside 10th Planet to North Hollywood, highest stand, stay in LA with my brother, go to headquarters downtown LA, and then Mendez Brothers, I was training with them twice a week, or 3 times a week actually. And then someone in Long Beach, I was helping the Shootbox Long Beach. They were MMA guys and kickboxers, and they wanted to learn some of the 10th Planet ground games. So I was teaching them Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like 7 or 8 in the morning, something like that.
So how was the transition to becoming a trainer? Like having to train people and all that. Like how is that going? How long you been a trainer for?
I mean, I've always been teaching jiu-jitsu to people.
Okay.
Like, even as a student, I was always like, I felt like
Because you could teach up to blue, or when you're a blue belt, you can kind of help the class and all that stuff, right?
I mean, even at white belt, you can help teach a class. But like back in the day, Eddie was like, if you wanted to open up a 10th Planet, I think he wanted you to at least be a blue belt and had to be down for 10th Planet. That's because we didn't have any. There was only like maybe, when I started, there's probably like maybe 3 or 4 10th Planets in the world.
Oh, okay.
Now there's probably like over 200. So
And they're in the world, not just the States.
right. Almost every. I mean, there's a 10th Planet in pretty much every continent. I can't remember if there's anything.
Somebody's Punchy Gardena said hi from the Philippines.
Oh shoot, yeah. It's one of my students. He just moved out to the Philippines.
Go ahead and read some of the chat. You got a lot of people in the chat.
What's up, Joe?
You got
Leo Landeros.
Oh, Leo. Cool.
Slick Rick in the house.
and then Jesse Costello put fire.
Yep.
Punchy.
Punchy Granola. That's Joe.
Sup, Rick.
Pump up for open mat. Best in IE. John Doe. I met him back in 2012. Joseph Pazzetti.
Oh, Joseph, yeah, Joe.
10 p.m. Redlands.
10th Planet Redlands.
10th Planet Redlands.
Holding it down.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you got people watching right now, man. What do you want to say to your guys?
That's cool. Hell yeah. That's cool. Thanks for supporting, guys.
So my brother trains at his school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my
You
brother's been
met his
training.
brother?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
he's a
so
beast.
yeah, he's doing good over there, huh?
Yeah,
That's
he's doing
good.
good.
That's good. Yeah, we trained for a long time with Eddie Millis at the Shark Tank,
That's what he was telling me.
and then I trained at Gerbo for a while. It was Braga MMA out in Upland.
Is it Vander Braga or?
No, yeah, it is, but he just has Braga, but now he calls it something else. I don't know. I forget. It's like we the people or something.
What
now.
city is that?
In Upland. He's been around forever, just as long as Shark Tank and all that
Nice,
stuff.
nice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
But yeah, so he's been around forever. But yeah, they have open mat. Suppose their open mat's really good too.
That's cool.
But,
like in this area, like we have, I mean, like if you can go to any open mat, it's good. Like I know San Diego has a really good one at Oceanside. We have a good one. These are all Saturday ones, and then Peerless in Corona has a really good one.
I heard you guys like one of the best though. You guys open mats even when I'm out there, it was packed.
What makes an open
place
mat?
was
What makes an open mat? Like a good open mat.
Just like the talent that comes in, and I think though that you could be any talent, but the more you start going, I mean, in general, the more you show up to class and train, the more you get better. And like I know certain schools or a lot of schools where you'll be lucky to get like 3 rounds of grappling in your training for that day. Where we almost like mandatory, we're getting like 10 rounds of grappling a day, and then 10 round Tuesday.
It's almost like basketball, like a pickup game at a park.
Yeah,
Grappling's
exactly.
a
Like
whole
the more experience, the more pickup games you get, the more you're gonna.
Michael Costas wrote in, my brother. What's up, Rick?
What's up, Mike?
And then John Doe. Ron Turner is my coach,
shoot,
aka Triple
Mr. Triple
Mr.
Digits.
Triple Digits. Yeah.
Who's John Doe?
I don't know.
John Doe, what's your real name?
Yeah, what's your real name, John Doe?
And then you got Kat L, 10th Planet Redlands.
Kat, yes, she just started. She actually, her boyfriend trains at 10th Planet Orange, City of Orange. So
Okay.
it's a small little group of people. When people travel, they pop into our gym, and it's kind of cool. Or we can go anywhere around the world, and we just pop in and get to train usually for free. Unless we want to buy some gear and stuff like that.
So people that don't know about jiu-jitsu, I think this would be good to know. We have a lot of fight fans that watch it now because we do a lot of fight segments.
Okay.
But let's just say for people that don't know about jiu-jitsu, what would you tell them? Should they join jiu-jitsu?
Okay.
Like, what's your idea for that, you know?
Like in a martial arts perspective, or in like a
Anyway, because jiu-jitsu is like, man, it's a whole other level,
Right.
And I feel like people don't realize that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. You know, like sometimes I get people that'll ask, what should I learn? Should I do karate, kickboxing, MMA, or jiu-jitsu, or boxing, or something like that? And I'm like, as long as you're doing something, as long as you're exercising, you're better off than someone that doesn't know something. But I always say learn one ground fighting art and one stand-up art, whether it's kickboxing plus jiu-jitsu, kickboxing plus wrestling, boxing plus jiu-jitsu. You know, something that you want to learn something from beyond the ground. You don't want to be like flopping on the ground going, what do I do to get up? I know UFC looks really messy when you have a really good talented kickboxer or boxer. They get taken down and they just look like a fish out of water. And so they're like, they should have went to jiu-jitsu class. Should have popped in a couple of those.
Yeah.
So
at least learned how to get back up. I know. Well, when me and my brother first were training, we would do the jiu-jitsu classes anyways, but it was no gi. It was no gi jiu-jitsu at Shark Tank. And but the thing is though, like I would always just want to get back up. I always wanted to kickbox.
That's good.
You know,
That's
but
good.
then when I joined Braga over here in Upland, I loved the jiu-jitsu classes.
Ooh, nice.
So as I got older, I liked jiu-jitsu. When I was younger, I liked to kickbox. I wanted to just to like, you know, try to head kick somebody, something like that, you know.
Well, that's why I was like, you should have a kickboxing, even karate or boxing, just something to keep distance away, because not every fight you're gonna have to go to the ground. Sometimes it's just keep away enough to jab or front kick somebody to keep them away. But then if you do happen to get taken down, whether it's them or someone on the back, they take you from the back and put you on your on the ground. One, you got to know how to hit the ground. If you just hit the ground with your head,
boom, and knock out.
So we teach like a break fall where you're flying, you're falling off a bike even, and you just like hit the ground. And
a lot of people don't even know that.
They don't know.
They don't even know how to fall.
It's horrible.
And it's weird when they're older, trying to teach them how to fall.
Yeah.
When they're older, it's like really hard to catch on.
Yeah.
It's easier to teach them when they're younger. You know.
Yep.
So speaking of that, what do you say for people who are older and they're like, oh, okay, I don't want to do it because maybe I'm too old for this, or what do you say for them?
We have guys that are my oldest student was 73, but we have current guys that are like 56, 58 years old, and so you're never really too old. You just gotta make sure you choose your training partners. The training partners are gonna be wise enough to know I'm not gonna try to go
full on
ADCC championships on this guy that's gonna probably break his bones, or like a 300-pounder is not going to put all their weight on a 120-pound dude.
Yeah.
I got to read this because it was funny. Okay. This one dude said, where's it at?
Like a fish out of water?
Yeah. Where's it at?
Right here. It says Leo Landeros looking like a fish out of water.
He's looking like a fish out of water is my move.
Nah.
You know him or not?
Yeah, maybe at first, but he's like I would say he's like, ask him if he's pro level arm wrestler. He's up there on his arm wrestling. He's really.
Oh, really?
He's a problem. Like when he gets down on the ground, it's like when you get close quarter combat jiu-jitsu, it is like an arm fight, an arm wrestling fight. And he has a huge advantage being an arm wrestler.
So he's an actual arm wrestler?
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's cool.
And he makes his own like bands, like that people buy, and they put bands. You got to connect yourself to the.
Hey, Rico wants to challenge you in an arm wrestling match.
Yeah, he will. He will challenge. He's pretty good.
I'll whoop your ass.
No, he was telling me one time, like when I was going against he had someone else go against him. One of our strong friends, Quentin Rosenzweig. Quentin's like, "Oh, I'll arm wrestle you," and so he's going against Quentin. And Quentin's like, "Hey, you better don't turn your wrist this way, otherwise you're going to get a spiral fracture when this breaks."
Oh, really?
So Quentin, and then he ended up beating. So he's talking to Quentin, and I'm like, Quentin's a strong dude, and this guy,
Yeah, you'll break his wrist. He ain't got it.
You seen the movie Over the Top? With I got you.
I know what you're talking about.
I got you. So then, what would you say for like the parents like who are scared or what would you tell them to get their kids into it? Like what does jiu-jitsu and even MMA do for kids if you start them at a young age? You know what I mean? That are afraid. I don't want my baby. You know what I mean? Like what does it do for kids and the self-esteem that it gives them?
Okay, so
how would you tell them?
Well, we do a program at this a school in Redlands called they have a thing. I think it's called Boost or something like that. But today we're just there. It was called Lugonia elementary school, and I think they're like maybe underprivileged or kids that were bullied. And I reached out to them, and I was like, I want to, show like a couple like moves for them to at least know what to do in a situation if you do get bullied. And then after that, they're like, well, the kids want to further their learning with our school, so we have a few students that are on scholarship with us. And when they first come in, shoulders are down, heads down, and then over the couple, a month or two or something like that, they're they're walking around. They're like they're testing things out. They're you can see the confidence that martial arts and
for sure.
and jiu-jitsu in my case gives to a student, because they can handle themselves and they don't have to. They can stick up for themselves.
Yeah. Why don't you practice that choke move on Rico right here? Just to show the people that like what it is like to be choked out.
Why don't you show it on you? Aren't you a fighter? Or you don't fight no more? Show it on Jacob.
But I want you to show that like the way somebody gets choked out.
Show it on you.
And what they look like as they get choked out.
Show it on you. Closer.
I could.
Closer.
You want?
You're closer.
No, hey, we got a lot of people in the chat though right now. Why don't you read some of the start right here. Oh, that guy, the guy's name John Doe is Andres.
Andres. Oh, I remember him. Hey, what's up, Andres? Yeah, I used to have a gym in Costa Mesa.
He said we used to train back in Costa Mesa, and then Punchy Granola. He says 10th Planet.
10th Planet waiting to be open. Rick.
Oh shoot.
What does that say though?
In the Philippines.
Manila.
Looking like a fish out of water. As we get older, the less we want to get hit on in the head. Yeah,
that's true. Oh, that's another.
Oh, and then Leo said down to arm wrestle you. He said he's down.
Oh, nice,
sure.
Nice.
They don't, and then Punchy says they don't get bullied and they won't become bullies. That's true. Mm-hmm. I feel like when you train, you don't even worry about fighting like you did, because you just like you already know what you can do.
Yeah,
it's like whatever. You know
That's
what I
true.
mean? And then one last one goes over the top. Was a
real tournament that John Brzezinski won. Oh shit!
Damn! I didn't know that. I didn't know that
either.
I had no clue about that.
You never seen the movie?
Yeah, I love the movie. Yeah, it's an '80s movie.
Shoot, that's crazy. Oh, one thing about jiu-jitsu.
You said the head. You talking about the head or something like that?
No.
You said the. Oh.
Oh no, for jiu-jitsu, like I'm not really biased, but I would say that give me a martial art, give me an art or a defense that you can practice 100% every day and come back the next day and do it 100% again. Like let's say boxing, you can't go 100%. You can tag each other every day, but you can't go 100% because you're gonna lose your marbles like real fast.
Dude, that's true. That's
so
true.
Jiu-jitsu, I can go 100%.
100%.
I can tap. I can, and I get to eat whatever I want because, you're losing like, hundreds of calories every session and stuff. So that's probably the best advice I would give for an older person or a younger person. Like you can train this,
full on every day and not get hit in the head every, you know what I mean, or go home with it. Yeah.
Right. I mean, the worst case scenario, you tap, which is, there's no harm, there's no ego in tapping.
What's your go-to move? Like what? Maybe like your top 3 moves that you love to do on people.
Eye poke.
No.
Just go like this.
Eye poke.
No. I'm an all-around player. It's kind of like I don't have a go-to move per se, but I have when I grapple a person, I kind of I was telling someone the other day, boxer, the counter boxer, what's his name? Mayweather. I'm like a Mayweather when it comes to jiu-jitsu because I don't know what your game is like, but I'll fill you out and I'll counter with something, and then I'll set up the counters with a chain of attacks. So my best move is whatever can get me out of a situation, and if there's a guard that I play a lot, I probably play butterfly. And if I close the guard, I play rubber guard. So, but I play everything: leg locks, rear naked chokes, everything.
For guys who are like, because obviously like me and Jacob were kind of taller and bigger. Like, what would you say for shorter guys? How would you approach that type of fight as far as like in jiu-jitsu, like when you're smaller and
like on the ground?
No, well, if it's standing up at first, like how do you know what I mean? How do you even approach that?
Well, if you're a bigger guy, you gotta make sure if it's punching involved, that's a different story. But if it's just jiu-jitsu, you grapple and then arm drag to the back or pick up a leg and take them down, and then once you're on the ground, try to get to their back or get to a leg. everyone's going to be a little bit different because you could be a 300 pounder and have a game that's like a 150 pound guy and move real fast, or you could be a 300 pounder that, or I've wrestled guys that were like 350 pounds and you just got to find a way to their back.
You made them tap?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Like I'll grapple everybody. I don't mind. That's
jiu-jitsu is different, man. You could be big and strong. I remember like when I was going hardcore, and this big old buff fireman came in and huge, man, and I just kept tapping him over and over, and he was like, "What is happening?" I'm just so like,
There's
you know
like
what I mean?
a lot of
It's
mystery
like,
to
dude,
it,
it
right.
means nothing. Like,
Right.
It literally means nothing.
It's technique. It's all technique.
it's all technique. Yeah.
And I remember tapping. I mean, going against these purple belts, and they're like tapping me like I'm literally like if I was like 10 years old kid.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? And they're doing it super calm, like tap,
Right. If you could
tap.
do it like,
You know what I
if you
mean?
could do
Like,
it nice and like
I'm
not
over-
spastic. If you're not spazzing out and you can do that, then
Yeah.
that means you could probably have mastery over the technique.
Yeah, they're like high level purple belts are a whole nother level, man.
I've even seen girls do it to Deuce, and they get pissed off.
Oh yeah.
I've seen
It's
it.
enough to get a person to walk away from the art. Like I remember there was guys that were like, military dudes that came in and. Or even wrestlers that came in and they were getting tapped left and right by me. I'm a much smaller guy,
Yeah.
and that could either make a person say, show me what you know,
Yeah.
or I'm out of here. I don't need that, and then they stick to
Whatever
whatever
they know.
I've seen both, ends of the spectrum on that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how people just like give up. You
Yeah.
know, it's kind of like what's the deal, man? Like keep going and practicing.
Mm.
But I kind of was raised, I think, that way. It was almost like it was comfortability. Like I was fine with it.
Yeah.
Like oh, dude, these dudes are badass. I want to learn what they
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
You know what I
definitely.
mean? But a lot of people, they like, especially nowadays, I feel like they're just afraid of stuff like that.
That's crazy. Like, I mean, good thing is the people that walk through the door are kind of interested in at least. I mean, just taking the step through the front door is
It's a challenge.
is a challenge. Yeah, and I tell people, hey, get to class. That's all you need to do is get to class. Find a way to get to class. We'll take care of the rest, because it's hard to. Like, I remember early on, 2018, we had a guy that he was sitting out in the front parking lot and he quit and he texted. I feel like every time I'm going in, I feel like he was like a 6'4", 230-pound dude, and he was like, I feel like everyone's trying to go competition mode on me. And I was like, man, you're, in my mind, I was like thinking he was actually a lot of potential. He was doing really good, but he left us.
Mentally,
Yeah. So I don't know. It's, now my goal now is to kind of get into the psyche of each person, each student, and try to find out what their motivation or their goals are.
Yeah, that's crazy because it's almost like you can't train that in a sense when they just want to give up. Like, what can you do? Because it's not like you have like power over them. Like if they give up, they just give up and leave. Huh?
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
kind of, I mean, I feel like that's just like a sissy way of doing things.
It's because people don't nowadays. People like to do shit like that, or even certain jobs like become a fireman to look cool. Not because they actually like it, you know what I mean? Because when I first started karate, when I think I was 8, I didn't want to do it because of the running around the mat and then the stretching and then I couldn't touch my toes. And
Yeah.
since they would push on my back to go farther and it would hurt, and I was like, I don't want to go back there no more. And then you know what I mean? And then I became friends with one of the other kids, and then I was like, you know what? Now I'm gonna go because of that. And then I ended up starting liking it.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? And then it became fun.
You find
Right.
common friends,
And
or
I stopped at 17. And I started,
Damn,
So
that's good.
it was. I think it's a thing where you have to actually like it.
Yeah.
Because for one, nobody wants to get choked out or
Right.
arm barred every day.
Yeah,
You gotta like
yeah.
it.
You gotta like it. You gotta. And I've, we've changed up a little bit. We've tried to make games out of a lot of our things that are just teaching techniques. Greg Sauter was like, he's really big into game playing. Instead of just saying, here, do this technique like 1,000 times over and over, you actually do the technique, but you have some resistance and you go live trying to do that resistance, and because then it gets you to understand like this is how it is live versus just rote memorization of a technique. Because under pressure, your memory goes out the window.
It's crazy because you got to keep doing it over and over and over, and you got it's almost like you finally find that pocket.
Yeah.
Like, okay, there it was.
Yeah.
You can try it a million times, man, and then you're like, you feel like awkward doing it. You're like, why can't I get it right? and all of a sudden, boom, you just feel it. And you're like, okay,
Exactly.
and then you
Yeah.
got to go back and keep doing it again and again, just so you can keep up on it. you know?
Yeah, I'll take off 3 days sometimes, come back huffing and puffing. I'm like, why am I huffing and puffing? I was like, oh, because I shouldn't be skipping a beat. You know, I
Yeah,
gotta train every day.
I know, man. Like 2 weeks off and you're
Oh,
done.
man.
You're dead.
Was there a time? Was there a time when you? Because you said you was only doing it like one and one. Like,
Yeah.
training for one day and this day. Was there a time where you wanted to when you wanted to quit?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Not really quit, because once I started it, I got addicted. Like day one, I was addicted to jiu-jitsu. And even kickboxing, I really like it, but I only get so many hours in a day. I can only do one or the other, and there's the whole gi versus no gi, and people are like, why don't you do 50% gi, 50% no gi? And I'm like, well, I can go the rest of my life doing no gi and still come up with create new things, and
Right.
there's still always stuff to learn. So it's like, do I want to spend 50% of my time doing one art and another, or do I want to spend 100% of something and expand my horizons on that?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I tell people in sports, like in football, would you want to play flag football 50% and then tackle football another 50%, or do you want to focus on one art or one sport and get really, really good at that?
Yeah.
I would rather do 100% tackle football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this, what Punchy said. This needs to be a meme. He says, the white belt is the toughest to get. That's dope, though, because that means
Yeah,
people
it's
ain't
good.
getting the,
Right.
nobody.
They quit before they can even make it to
Damn.
yellow belt.
That was spitting some game right there.
Damn.
Punchy, I like that one.
Knowledge, Joe.
Yeah.
Knowledge.
Brr, brr, brr. And then he also says, pass, side control, Americana, big guy jiu-jitsu. And then Joseph says, take what they give you.
Take what they give you.
Do you know who Joseph is?
Joseph Bazzetti?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
And
a
then,
student.
and then he says the butterfly effect. Talk.
Oh.
And he goes,
that's a CD or DVD.
Rick,
Yeah.
and then John Doe again. It's Andres, I think he says. Rick taught me the one arm rear naked choke.
The one arm renegade. Wow, amazing. Damn,
And then he
that's
says,
crazy.
You've at this point, in all the years you have, you've made up some moves.
Yeah. I've made up a lot of different moves or
did you name
refined.
them?
Yes. Like,
What'd you name? Which one of yours that you named?
Okay,
That's dope,
Okay,
actually.
let me see. Well, the one that a lot of people know me for is it's called the rubber stamp. So you know what the rubber guard is, right?
Yeah.
So the rubber guard. Okay, here's the history of the rubber guard. Like I actually thought all the guys in 10th Planet were all like hippies and smokers. And so every time they got into a tournament, they would get smoked by all the guys that were actually playing tournament jiu-jitsu and passing their guard. And but when you fall into their guard, then they're playing rubber guard on you. But I'm like, the way I saw it, it was like this hippie dude that was, high, and he was kind of like coming to my guard, bro. And I was like, I wanted to kind of change that around, so I was like, well, let me figure out how to open up the guard, any rubber guard, and resist, or not resist, but escape any rubber guard. And so I came up with this thing called the rubber stamp, which you're kind of calm in the pocket, but you can still get out eventually, and you're putting pressure on the person. And because of that, my guard, being in someone's guard, my defense has gotten way better because everyone's trying to put their rubber guard on, trying to submit me in some sort of something from guard. I go against some high-level guard players, and they still can't tap me. There is one guy that recently got me, but I was like, man, I haven't got tapped from rubber guard in a long time. And shout out to Kumba. Kumba, if you're out there, he used to train with us in Riverside, went to Corona. I think now he's at headquarters, I believe. But Kumba the Ghost got me in rubber guard. Really awesome. Got me from rubber guard. It starts from rubber guard, but there's techniques that their submissions they come from the guard. You can't just say, I got tapped in rubber guard, because rubber guard is just like saying someone got you in closed guard. You can't get tapped.
Yeah.
In closed guard. You got to set up an arm bar or a triangle or something like that.
Then that's cool, dude, to make up your own moves.
Yeah.
That means you've been in the game doing
real,
this,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You know? Where do you want to see you elevate from here? Is there anywhere? I mean, because you're already high level, man.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
what would be like? Do you go against a lot of like same kind of like people like you on your level?
Coming up, I went and competed against a lot of the guys that are out there right now that are still doing well, but there wasn't. I mean, grappling has gotten big since when I was going and doing a lot of tournaments in 2014, 13. There wasn't as many tournaments then, but now there's tournaments every week in every region, Southern California, Northern California, every part of the world. There's so many different tournaments.
Yeah.
And so now I'm actually getting out there again and competing. And one of the guys, his name was Barrett Yoshida. He's a legend of the sport. There's a thing called ADCC. He was like the first ballot Hall of Fame for that competition. The thing that Eddie won, the ADCC. So this guy Barrett from San Diego, he's a really awesome dude. Was watching a lot of his techniques and stuff, and one tournament in Long Beach earlier this year, in February of this year. I was like, I get to go against him, and it was best 2 out of 3. Or it was round robin, so it was 2 of us. Whoever won twice won the bracket, and I beat him by points, and he beat me by points, and I beat him. No, shoot, he beat me by points first, and then I beat him the next 2 by points, and so that was kind of good. I got gold at that ADCC Open, and then in May, he asked if I wanted to do Fight to Win in San Diego. And he was like, "You're up 2-1 on me. You're up 2-1. Like let's see."
Go.
Yeah. And I didn't see it as 2-1. I saw it more as I was up just one competition and another. But he was, so I was like, "Wow." I was like, "Okay, so let's do this." So and then he ended up beating me. If there's no submission in that tournament, or they call it super fight. If there's no submission, then it's judge's decision. So he got me on that.
Have you gone how many minutes are they?
That one was I believe an 8-minute round.
Or
no, I'm sorry, it's
Damn.
6 minutes. 6 minutes.
6 minutes. And do you get a lot of no submissions? Like where you guys are just both going at it?
Yes, and if there's no submissions, then it goes to
Ref.
points. It goes it depends on the tournament. Some are you have to go submission only. And some will go overtime, and they'll put you in a position like EBI. Eddie Bravo has his own thing called EBI, Eddie Bravo Invitational. And so if you go the entire match without any submissions, then they'll put you either on the back or on the armbar position, an armbar from side control, and you gotta get out within X amount of time, and they give you 3 rounds to do it, and then they tally up how many escape times you had.
That's dope.
Yeah,
dude,
so
I didn't know about that.
It's kind of like the way he saw it was, like in college football, they put you on the 20. Is it college? Or is it pro where they put you on the 20-yard line in overtime?
Oh, no, you're talking about for overtime, you go to the middle, obviously you flip the coin, and then who gets the ball first, and then I think it's like if when you kick it, it starts off at the 20-yard line. Now they started off at the 20. They started off at the 20-yard line.
Okay.
Before they weren't. Before it was, I think it was farther back.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if it was college football where they started you at the 20 in overtime.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember. But anyway, so it was basically you're getting put in sudden death right away for the overtime.
Who do they pick? Whoever has the most points, the person that doesn't have less. How do they pick?
That also depends on if it's EBI. If no one got submitted, they go by who escaped the fastest in the 3 overtimes.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I love that. Actually.
But if you got submitted, let's say you got submitted and it took you, let's say you got the guy and you're winning him by 2 minutes of ride time. They call it ride time. If you get submitted and you're in the top of the inning, then if you're in the bottom of the inning, you get tapped out. Then it doesn't go on further than that.
And that makes sense because they even have that in hockey and everything.
Yeah,
like I mean, it makes perfect sense to do something like that.
That's
if it's just going back and forth the whole time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Punchy said it's college football OT.
It's what?
College football OT.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, see.
Well, then Leo says Rick is always the last one on the mat.
Oh, thanks, Leo.
First one in, last one out.
Always get my rounds in, man. Always, I mean, if you do the math, it's if I say six days a week, 60 rounds a week, 240 a month, that's 2,400. That's about almost 3,000 rounds a year, I believe. Versus some of I tell my students, you guys got to get with me.
That's a lot.
If I see my student like once a week and they're getting 3 rounds. And that's only 12. That's only 144 a year, and I'm like going 3,000. I'm like, there's a discrepancy. You guys, if you guys want to get ranked, this is how you guys gotta at least get to my level.
What do you? I mean, do you? You know what I mean? Are you ever gonna hang up the shorts?
Like jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
No.
You don't need to though. It's not like boxing or anything.
Well, I mean,
you could do that as an old man. Dude.
Yeah, I know, but everybody's different. You know what I mean? You might get like knees or you know what I mean. Or
I've had injuries here and there,
like,
but.
Your body. Do you listen to your body? Like a lot of times, like because a lot of people don't listen to their body.
I mean, I do. I mean, I'll tap if I have to, but like in this competition I was just in I believe it was September. I was playing rubber guard and I actually busted my what's the ligament on the outside of your knee? Is that the ACL?
ACL,
or,
MCL.
Well, I can't remember which one, if it was ACL or MCL, but I was playing rubber guard and I made a bad mistake and I pulled his arm over my own shin. I didn't have my frame set up properly, and I heard my knee pop, but I kept going. I ended up winning that one by points, but I thought I was going to be out for like two months or something like that. After like the fourth day, I was like, I was back on the mat again. I was like,
Haven't had any problems since.
I mean, I can't play rubber guard as hard, but I can still roll. There's little things that I can't hit, angles too good on it, but I'd rather, maybe I'm stubborn, but I'd rather roll and let my body figure it out than wait 2 months and lose 2 months of training, because I just can't, I miss
I
rolling.
get you.
It's part of my life.
Yeah.
Leo just says, just say Leo. So shout out to Leo. Thanks for the comments, Leo.
There's,
Let's go crazy. We got people in here, man. You got a lot of your fans in here.
Badmouth Records. Rick is the GOAT.
That's Eric. That's Eric right there. Hell yeah. Badmouth. Oh yeah, that's Eric. Nice. Awesome.
So, do you put on your own comps?
Haven't yet. I eventually I probably will. I'll figure it out.
It'll be at the dojo or
either there or the cool thing about comps is that you could move around and go different places, and you guys probably didn't know this about me, but in the 90s I used to throw like raves and stuff like that. So I kind of have an understanding of production and stuff like that. Marketing and production a little bit, so it shouldn't be that hard to do it,
Yeah.
But,
I mean, shit. You have a following. I think
You have a following,
I think
dude.
some people will show up and sign up.
Oh yeah, they will. I mean, I think these days if you put competitions for white and blue belts, that's like where the bulk of the people are at. So you got to cater to them. But I have ideas on how to do some things. So, but I haven't. There's always room for different things like that to venture out. I do have like a little clothing line that I've been playing around with, and a lot of little things that I dabbled with. I still haven't got back into, what my schooling was, all like software, like computer science and stuff, and I need to get back to that.
You know how to build websites.
Build websites, yeah, but like there's a lot of other things that I was working for all the different like defense companies, and kind of not walked away. I just kind of put everything on hiatus, and I went to Singapore. I was working for them, working for One Championship, writing some software, and also working for Evolve MMA. That they're the same company pretty much. Mm-hmm. And then I became a full-time instructor out there in Singapore, and since then I walked away from software. But it's kind of like, it's like walking away from jiu-jitsu. It's like I need to get back in it. It's part of my life.
It's never going to. And nowadays it's getting more and more.
Yeah. There's the advent of AI, and I feel like I'm way behind. I need to play catch up with a lot of these guys.
Yeah. AI is crazy.
Yeah.
I use it for everything.
We're talking about it today. We're talking about AI today.
ChatGPT.
I use it all the time.
That's
I use it to fight a dispute and all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
Man. Like
nice.
I use it like really, I have no choice. Like I don't even know what I would have did without it back in the day.
Right.
Like it saves me so much time. I would have probably had to write this up for a few days, and it wouldn't even been as close as good as it is.
Collateral alignment.
You got to. Huh?
Right.
What is that?
Lateral collateral alignment.
Lateral.
I mean, lateral collateral ligament.
LCL. Is that the outer? That
Yeah.
must be the outer. Okay, so one of the students at my gym, he's a nurse. He's getting his nurse degree, I guess, and he tested me out. He's like, yeah, you probably have a micro tear or something right there. And he's like, you're probably going to be out like two months. And I was like, shoot, 6 weeks to 2 months. And I was like,
Kat said Rick could do it all, even breakdancing.
You break
back
dance?
in the day. Well, I mean, I could still kind of do it, but we have we have a break dancer in the gym, and he's way better than me. But
challenging you on the mat. So was all you? Where did you grow up at?
Let me see. Grew up in Riverside most of my life.
Okay.
From 80 to 88 was Riverside, and then we went to Beaumont for about 4 years. So that was like, actually lived in Rialto for a little bit.
My
Lived in
hometown.
Rialto,
I grew up in Rialto, the north end of Rialto.
I think let me see. I think I was on the west end of Rialto, a school called Simpson Elementary School.
Simpson.
And then that was 6th grade, and then 7th grade I went to Kolb Middle School. Yeah. Kolb Middle School, and my brother was going to Frisbee. And and he was telling me that they had lunch fights and setting palm trees on fires and stuff like that.
Yeah, Frisbee. That's right there where the 210 is at. Where the yeah.
Dang. So then that was 7th grade, and then in the middle of my 7th grade, I moved to Beaumont and did 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th out there, and then 11th and 12th in Banning, California.
That's dope.
And then
man.
back to Riverside for college, and then L.A. and Orange County after for more college and more schooling and work post.
That's badass. Dude, we're running out of time, so I do want to say,
course.
what do you want to tell the viewers? Anything you want to tell them about 10th
Shoot.
Planet U, whatever you want to
Give them the
say.
Instagram and where's it located so
Okay.
they want to come.
We're
in the city?
located in the city of Redlands. Instagram is 10th Planet Redlands. At 10th Planet Redlands. And if you want to get a hold of me, at Slick Rick, D.A. Roller, Slick Rick the Roller, ROLLER. Yeah, just pop in. You guys know where it is on Saturday, 10:30 to noon. Pretty much do that every day unless there's I don't know.
Tsunami?
A tsunami. Unless we got a tsunami, we're trying to do that, or we're getting someone to cover for us. But yeah,
We got to get your boy to come and arm wrestle him live on camera.
Leo,
He
let's
don't
go.
want it. He don't want it.
Leo Montes,
He don't want it.
That's cool.
We gotta go to open. Let's go to open mat one day. I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm
you
down.
guys are
I'm down.
welcome. You guys are
All
welcome.
right.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm down.
So cool.
I'm gonna hurt you so
I'm
bad.
gonna make you tap out.
He makes me
I'm
so
gonna make you-
bad.
I'm gonna make you tap
I'm
out.
gonna hurt him so bad.
man, that's
You don't know. I'm telling him, don't let the glasses
Okay,
fool
we'll
you.
see, we'll see.
Don't let the glasses fool you.
Yeah, you got some karate, so I know he knows something. He knows something. That's good.
He was the karate kid. This kid.
Oh,
right?
And what happened every time? He fucking won.
We'll see. So this Saturday, let's go this Saturday. Then. Oh, we can't.
easy,
We're doing the
easy.
event. We're
Yeah.
doing the
Oh,
event.
that's right.
You're lucky.
Doing the
Look
event.
at.
What's the event this Saturday? Is that the one in Ontario or
So
something?
we're
like that,
doing
or?
the event. We're doing Noise and
and
Toys.
Toys.
We're gonna be backstage with Little Chronic the rapper, and we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be interviewing like all the people backstage.
Oh,
So we're doing VIP. It's in Adelanto.
Yeah.
Shout out to that. And then we do have a live.
That's the one I was talking about.
So we
too.
have it's called the House Over Baz live podcast experience,
November
November
21st.
21st.
Get your tickets. Link her in the bio. Look at
it's
your tickets.
$15 tickets. We just need to get in order to do this again. Picture this. It's basically like a podcast mixed with like a Wilding
The
Out type of
audience.
vibe with the audience there.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice,
it's supposed
that's
to be
cool.
something different. It's not like anything that's really been done.
Is it in the auditorium?
It's
or-
it's called it's at the Epic Center in Rancho
Rancho.
Cucamonga.
Perfect.
So
Oh,
I would
nice.
love for get as much people as possible to go. If you guys can come support.
And what day is that?
It's a
Thursday.
Thursday night,
Thursday,
but it
perfect.
starts at 8:30.
Doors open at 7:30.
Yeah, doors open at 7.
Get there at 7:30.
No, open at 7, and then we end like at 11:30.
And- okay,
but it's
cool.
like at a nice place. They have a bar. They have bottle service. They have all that stuff. DJ, everything. So it's going to be a good night.
I've never even heard of an event like this. This is cool.
Yeah,
You're doing like
it's-
live podcasts.
So basically,
but we're
if it was
audience.
us, we would have an audience right here in front of us
crazy.
watching.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
All right, yeah.
And
Yeah, I hope you
we're
guys put it
honestly, if this goes well, we're going to keep doing that.
But we're going to travel and do
Yeah,
it.
That would be
but
cool,
we
yeah.
have a comedian coming in. Comedians are actually comedians, so they're going to be help
Two.
host, and we're going to be doing. They might be doing. It's not for sure yet, but we're talking about doing an improv set and all kinds of stuff.
You need to talk to Eddie Bravo. He's a comedian.
See,
Yeah,
serious?
yeah.
We need to get Eddie Bravo on here. Then that'd
All
be
right,
dope.
Yeah, I can. We're gonna go visit him tomorrow night at headquarters.
Oh
so.
man, see if he wants to come on the
All right,
show.
I'll
That'd be
ask him.
great,
Yeah, that'd be
man.
dope.
That'd be
Oh,
great. And then even bringing him on one of those, that'd be great because nobody's doing this in the Inland Empire. But according to even the comedian that we linked up with on this, nobody's really even doing what we're about to do even in LA area.
That's crazy.
Like this
That's
is
awesome.
different.
So live podcast with the audience, you know what I mean? And we're going to interact, and the audiences are going to be able to interact. So say if somebody had a question, you guys could, if the audience could ask us questions where we're going to be live.
You should have them do something like this where they can.
Yeah,
without
we are.
interacting.
We
Okay,
are
cool,
too.
cool, cool.
So we even have a segment, the DNR segment, with a bunch of girls. There's like 6 girls. Girls are even flying out from Vegas and everything to come do the show.
What's DNR?
DNR's dating
Dating
and relationships.
relationships.
Oh, dope,
So that's
dope,
the third
nice.
segment we're gonna do.
That's so cool.
And it's like it's a lot of like back and forth debating and talking crap.
Man,
but
that's
the
so cool.
audience is gonna be able to chime in. So we're gonna have a guy there with the mic, and after the last 20 minutes, the audience is gonna be able to be part of the panel.
Oh man, that's
So this is going to be a
funny.
dope
That's-
one. We have a business, an entrepreneurship panel. I mean, it's one guy. He's coming in from Victorville.
It's called The Gym?
He owns a bunch of gyms. It's called The Gym, but it's chains. He's a
nice.
really successful entrepreneur.
Nice.
His name's Jacob Lewis, and then we have Saint Vaughn. He's an artist, a
It's the
painter.
second show.
And he's coming on, and then we have Landy the comedian, Maury Richardson. He's doing a lot of the hosting with us.
And this is next Thursday.
This is the 21st.
21st.
The 21st.
No,
Okay.
November 21st.
Perfect.
We would
So 2
love
weeks.
for all 10th Planet want it to come through, because if we do this again, like we can keep doing this with you guys and everything. Like we want to
Exposure
bring
for everybody.
Yeah, we want to bring like a Howler Network and bring different talent from fighters to everything and interview them up there.
Yeah, is
You know?
is that one already filled? If I were to talk to Eddie and he's like, I have.
Yeah, this one's already.
No,
Oh, it's
no,
already
well, this one in particular.
Okay.
But if we can get this one to be popping, we could do another one
cool.
next month, the following month,
okay,
and we
cool.
could talk to him about doing that.
Nice. Okay.
Because dude, if we got Eddie Bravo, it'd be a wrap.
Yeah, and then you can hear from the source.
Yeah.
all his crazy stories. Probably has some crazy.
It'd be great to get him on the show and then
Yeah.
do all that. But
yeah.
dude, it'd be great, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'll
So
talk to him about
I
that.
appreciate
I
that.
appreciate you for coming on.
No worries.
Yeah,
Thank
appreciate you
guys.
coming on.
Thank you.
Our slogan is "Shed the Sheep."
That's a good
That's our
camera,
slogan. So on three, we're gonna say "Shed the Sheep" right here.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Shed the sheep.
Howls over Baz. I'm Jacob Casas.
I'm Rico Savage.
Slick Rick Marshall.
And we are out. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Peace.